Hope you're having a great day. How are you all doing? It's Wednesday, and we have a live session for Nurka Bar. I'll be there. Saman will be there, Ta will be there, Mohammed Reyes will be there too. I'll post the exact time for you on Telegram, but most likely we'll be live at 9 o'clock. We'll continue the training on the tier strategy in the city of Asporm. It'll be on Thursday, not Tuesday. On Tuesday, I'll set aside some time for those who haven't seen it yet or want to review it so we can go over it together. Let's check out the playlist. If you haven't watched it, make some time to go through it because it'll be easier for us to open positions afterward. It's a shame if you don't set aside 4 or 5 hours for yourself to come and go over the questions and the 4 positions I want to share with you. Also, I have a question for you. Let me know your answers in the comments so I can see what you did. What was my own position? There was a Solana short position opened here with this candle. I actually wanted to open it with this first candle, but the stop size that was coming up was up to 133.97, and I didn't want my stop to go outside the box. I didn't like that. If that happened with this candle, following this candle, I didn't want my stop to go up to that level. Why was I following up with this candle? Just because as soon as it came here, it made a lower high. 2 big candles had filled up all our buys, meaning the sellers were strong. In these 2 candles, it showed how strong they were. My RSI level was breaking my oversold level. Negative DI and positive DI. They had shifted sentiment and were making their moves up and down. These 2 candles showed me that in this box and area, the sellers had the upper hand. Their hand. So the size of my stop was thrown all the way here. This candle that closed here determined the size of my account. Up to this 1% drop, it was actually the order book itself that made my stop size smaller as the price reached there. It was here, in this candle, or in one of these 2 candles on the 15-minute chart. I quickly came and took profit myself, just saved profit on 50% of the position here. The risk reward was about 2.5. I took profit on 50% here. I set the stop loss for myself, the break-even point. In 1 candle, we moved the stop loss to break even. So here, I had a risk reward of 1 to 4. It was giving me 1 to 4 here and then 1 to 12 as well. Now, if we subtract the fees and all that, it was still 1 to 4. Then the price started to go back up. During this move, as the price was going back up, let me show you the times. Let's look at it by the hour. Here, it's around 7:30, and here, it's around 6:45. This candle is at 19:15, and this candle is at 7:30. This area is around 7:30. There was a sharp move in Bitcoin dominance, then a drop, then again there was a green candle forming. At this time, I was also watching Ethereum. In this situation, I was also watching Ethereum. I couldn't decide between Ethereum and Bitcoin. I couldn't choose which position to open. I was even watching ETH BTC at that moment. You have to look at it at that moment. These 4 are all messed up. There are 4 things that are all mixed up. This top hasn't been broken yet, so it's not certain whether it will continue or not. For example, instead of risking 0.5% on Bitcoin, I also opened a position on Ethereum with the same amount. With this candle and the stop here, I also put 0.5% on Bitcoin, but Bitcoin hit the stop loss. I opened these positions and left them. Bitcoin hit the stop loss with this candle, so half the profit is gone. I exited that Solana position I had taken, but the Ethereum one is still open. Now I'm trying to profit from these. What was my question again? Oh, right, whether you were able to do this or not. It doesn't matter if you actually did it, or if you made a profit or a loss. What matters to me right now is whether you were able to quickly catch the trend change. Change your behavior quickly. Go and open your position, because I talked about this and emphasized that if this happens, you need to be able to quickly change your character, quickly switch things up and open a new position, right? Now, with this red move, there's a good chance a lot of people hit their stop losses. If we had opened a long position here, there would have been a lot of people in it. The rest of you managed to do this because this is a skill that if you develop, you'll be able to open easier positions in the future. Basically, it's like here. The green goes up and the red comes down. If we can quickly change our character here, this short position here gives a good profit. I just gave an example, just brought up one example. This kind of thing happens a lot in the market for you. For example, in 1 hour, the price goes up, then down to your level. Here, there was a really big move, like a whale. But this kind of thing doesn't happen rarely in the market. We need to be able to change our behavior. When it comes down and breaks this level, we should think about that. Let's go back up. This change in behavior is something we need to be able to do quickly for ourselves. Write for me in the comments and tell me why we couldn't do it. For example, what stopped this from happening? Maybe you weren't behind the chart. Or if you were, that's fine, but if you were behind the chart, also write down what made that position not open. What was your main problem? As for the bonuses, guys, I checked the UIDs and stuff, and some people don't even know about it. 4 people didn't get it, but the majority did. 94 or 95 people didn't get their bonuses, or I gave them the idea. Today, they're supposed to answer this. Each person should say why they didn't get it. Those who can get it should get it. Those who didn't need to give a logical reason. If there's no logical reason, I'll push them to claim their bonuses. Naren, don't worry about that part. I've got it covered over there. I have been consistently sending them messages almost every single day, and after all this persistent effort, they are finally scheduled to provide me with a response today. Before we dive into the specifics, let's meticulously establish the foundational framework for our discussion, and we will certainly delve into all the intricate details and nuances of this matter live as well. But the forecast for the future, predicting what's ahead, is more important for us. This very forecast is what matters. This green candle is a preview of that very forecast. Now, let's set an example like this. Let's look at its future, see what's going on, what its future situation looks like. What do we call it? I just said doji, so you'd have it in mind. Basically, when a candle forms like this, it means the price hasn't changed at all compared to last week. It shows confusion, right? It's not like buyers are really strong right now, nor are sellers, so we can't really judge by these shadows. Buyers have a bit of control over the price, right? Yes, buyers have a bit of control over the price. We have a madness box, a 12% box, with a ceiling at 94,500 and a floor at 823,500. Inside this box, we can keep moving back and forth. Breaking out of this box is really important. Its levels are also important. That means breaking above this level is a long signal, and breaking below this level is a short signal. These two breakouts, these levels, are really important in this candle, so pay close attention to these two levels. I put the arrows and explanations up for you. If you haven't seen them, go check them out so you can easily open positions this week. Okay? So on the daily chart, we haven't made any moves yet to really talk about anything specific. The 93 to 750 range is a very important level, and then if I bring it to 825 to 993 on the 4-hour chart, our key level becomes around 826 to 638. So this area here is important for us, meaning this is the key level for us here. This is the point where we had a fake out above, consolidated, made a slight dip, and then moved upward. So the important level is here, not at the point where it reversed here. If we want to open a position, what should we say? I'd say it's just like the setup we had here on the daily, where these two candles formed side by side. It messes things up. Even on the 4-hour time frame, it's the same. These two candles next to each other mess up the 4-hour chart, meaning right now the 4-hour time frame isn't really a good one to check for what's happening. At least until we get, for example, a high and a low. Now, the high could be at this same level, the high could be at this same level. Once this thing is set, it could be the high at this same level. Let's say it makes the low at 8, or maybe it can't go higher at all. Basically, you have to wait for one. It needs to form a structure for you on the 4-hour chart. When it makes these two candles like this, what about on the 1-hour chart? On the 1-hour, you can look at it and see, oh, we moved up here, and the buying candle was strong too. As it moved up, the size of the candles got smaller and the volume also decreased. In these two, it decreased so much below the important levels that it's logical we can't say the buyers lost their strength here. It came below the key levels, its strength ran out. It's good that it made two big price candles, so that's a good sign. So does that mean your seller has taken control of the price now? Should we just go ahead, keep going? Here, there's a trigger signal. Just give it to us here. Let me hesitate a bit, then here give us a short position. Again, the buyers have taken control of the price. This is the same kind of mess I was talking about. Even though the buyers took control of the price with lower volume, because it reached below the resistance, it's still not a clear sign. For now, it means the buyers are stronger than the sellers, even though they moved up with fewer candles. The thing is, the sellers hit with 2 candles like this and failed, and they were making 4 lousy candles. Just like these 2 lousy green candles here, we haven't really talked much about how much money the buyers spent here. We also don't talk here about the sellers like we did when they were making those moves over there. It hasn't been like that. Now, the candles have given 2 strong candles, and we're currently below an important resistance. The entry trigger is 915-99559. That means you could even set a stop buy, for example, with a stop loss of about 16%, you could also go for a stop buy. I myself set the stop buy here. Even though Ethereum is still open, I personally set the stop buy right here. Why do I do this? Look, it's because the Bitcoin dominance is showing a bit of red over there. Other than that, since there's no trend at all right now, basically this Bitcoin dominance has no trend at all. I prefer if I have an open position. Guys, lately I generally prefer this. If I have open positions, I keep 2 open positions and make sure one of them is definitely Bitcoin. If we're opening long positions, 2 positions. One must be Bitcoin. If we're opening short positions, 2 positions. One of them must definitely be Bitcoin so that the profit margin is wider. And if Bitcoin moves more, you have Bitcoin. If an altcoin moves more, you have the altcoin too. Why didn't you open 2 positions in the short position? It didn't work out. It did. Ethereum moved up much more sharply. Its movement is really clear in this candle. I have a lot of solo trades here. So I open it, but I don't take the same entry point again. I try to get a better entry point with a smaller stop loss. If I had opened here, for example, if I had opened Ethereum at that time, I would have also opened Sol, so I wouldn't have ended up with 2 positions here. The other thing is, here, Ethereum would have hit my stop loss above this box, so I preferred not to open it. Okay? This one was a heavy trigger for entry. Well, now in Bitcoin, here is an entry trigger. We can set a sub-entry. What about a short position? It's not that easy. My short position, for you to take it yourself, it's like this. At this moment in the market, I'm not there anymore. I'm not present here because you yourself have to be present. In the market environment, at that moment, even if you've watched a bit of the training, so you can catch this trend change in 15 minutes more quickly. If you can't recognize it, if you haven't seen the training or you don't trust yourself, let the market drop for an hour and hit a lower low. Then here, at this lower high, we should see a decrease in volume. At the start of this wave, there should be an increase in volume. Go ahead and manage your short positions here. There's no need to manage them at this level. For someone who has watched the trainings, knows volume, understands candle sizes, and knows how to check, they can enter right at this breakout here or during the fake out. This top is for downward. We don't have a previous bullish trend. Overall, we don't have a previous bearish trend either. Basically, we're just ranging inside a box. Now we're in the middle of it. There's a game going on at a level that's important to us. So be careful not to be without a position. Back then at 94.8 or from $94,000 and up, make sure you're not without a position. Now, if I open a position here on Bitcoin and the price moves up, yeah, exactly. I won't take profit on this one. I won't touch it, but my mind is still preoccupied here. It's like, how do I open a position here and not have a position, but also have a position open here? I want to hold on to it comfortably until the end, unless I want to lose a position. So with this same mindset, I stayed here and didn't take profit on Bitcoin either. And as you're moving, these little moves aren't really noticeable. You're just going like this. You're making a strong bullish move, and according to my strategy, the bullish wave is strong, and the dip you made was just a fake out. Now you've reached this resistance and your volume's dropping a bit. Okay, maybe you want to make a correction. Not like you're going to crash down like Niagara Falls for us. Okay, I'll hold here too. It's the same thing. Here too, if my position gets triggered, I'll hold it and see what it does with the candles. If, in the higher time frames like the 4 hour, I see a clear change and some weird things start happening, then I might have to adjust. This is the kind of trading environment we're dealing with on Bitcoin today. And honestly, I think this is the more logical approach to take. It's more logical. On the other hand, we've got USDT here sitting on an important support, so if that breaks too, in this 1 hour time frame, it could drop down to 5.843. It could definitely do that, which is good. It's not a bad idea to go along with it. On the daily chart too, it's been making lower highs in these moves. So now, on the daily chart, we're just waiting to see if 5.841 breaks. If it does, let's see if the waves take us down to 5.165 or not. But for now, the market is such that the lower time frames are giving us better positions. They also show us trend changes sooner. They also give us signals earlier, so don't go for example and get faked out on the 15-minute chart. If you trust it and go into a short position, you can open it easily, but sometimes the market can be tricky. For example, I say if the 4 hour chart doesn't give a clear signal, we don't do anything. Just like here, don't rush in. Right now, the conditions aren't right. For example, no matter what happens on the lower time frame, the higher time frame is what matters. For instance, you see so much movement happening on the lower time frame that the candle ends up looking like this. A big drop, a big rise, and then it tricks you again. Well, this is because the movement is happening on the lower time frame, right? On the 4 hour chart, you see it like this. Right in the middle here, the total, still, the 3.15 level is very important for us. Still, the 3.15 level is very important for us. There's really no need. Here, there's really no need to get too caught up in the details. In total, the break of 3.15 is where we're trying to have a position. For a short position or any position in this range, the coin itself is more important to us. Total doesn't have much impact. Same goes for total 3. Our goal was for 898 to break, so you should have a position line on this. Arrow was important on yesterday's watch list. I mentioned a few coins and talked about them briefly. Go check it out. I won't repeat it now. It was important about this, about AVAX, and what was the other coin? C8Z. These were important, BC. These are important at this level. If you miss out from the rest, it's a shame. I said SRO only for those who really know the strategy well. That is, for those who are really good with the strategy, SRO. For now, don't put it on your watch list. Every week, I pick one coin for those who are good with strategy, so you can easily work with it. Alright, the situation with total 3 is clear, and total 2 is also clear, 1.29. Its breakout is more important to us than anything else, honestly. For now, with this chart, it means you shouldn't be collecting anything. You shouldn't be buying altcoins for no reason or doing anything random. If you open an altcoin position, it would be reckless. The strength of all coins except for the top 10 coins, that is, except for ADA, TRX, SOL, BNB, XRP, ETH, and for example Bitcoin, when this one is trending downward, then randomly picking altcoins doesn't work. Maybe once in a while you get lucky, but you can't just say, oh, I like TON, so I'll open a position on TON. You have to go check. You have to go see what's going on. Now, what about TON BTC? TON BTC has its own particular situation, right? It's showing a red candle on the daily chart, so it probably hasn't broken its top yet. Are you going to follow up if it breaks or just let it go? You should at least draw a line for yourself, set an alert, and whenever it breaks, you can follow up on it. Adorzati is telling you this. Make it a routine and keep it in your wallet. You can't open a position right now, and at this point, you need to check the altcoins one by one. When you see that the main one is trending downward like this, and Bitcoin dominance isn't really going up either, you can figure out that at this moment, the Ethereum, BNB, Sol, ADA, and Hype markets, and right now, these are the ones absorbing the market's money flow. Either they're being sold less or bought more. In one of these two cases, we take short positions. It goes to some random altcoin. Not that we take long positions, it goes to these, but right now there's no high plan trigger for entry. Alright, let's move on to something else. Let's look at Ethereum. Here, Ethereum could have an entry position at the top, so we'll keep an eye on Ethereum. Right now, even its leverage isn't really that interesting. That was for Bitcoin. For BTC, we're pretty much forced to open a position here. With Ethereum, we're not really forced to do anything. There's a chance Ethereum could reach that strong resistance up there. Why don't I say the same for Bitcoin? For Bitcoin to break through there, it would need a whale to push it through. Ethereum could hang around a bit. It could stay in place for a while. Let me bring up HPTC. Since this 0.452 level has been broken, it causes Ethereum to move ahead of Bitcoin. That means you'll get more profit from longs, and at the same time, if you come to this level on the BTC pair and open a position here, it's good. So right now, I wouldn't set a trigger. I just say going long here is a good idea. Because this move we're seeing here is actually happening in the BTC sub-buy. So we just let it be, right? We don't set a buy order higher up in the market right now. Why? Are you crazy? This move is huge, no matter how much we talk about it. There's a good chance it's going to make this move. There's a good chance it's going to do it. So for now, we're not opening any positions on Ethereum. If we get here and this happens, what should we open? We had 7,008. Open here, or even open before it breaks out, especially if the seller tries again. If they fail, the buyer has taken control of the price. If it breaks out, just forget about it. We want to set a stop loss then. We have some capital, and we also have some risk on Ethereum. Don't be without a position at 32.23. If this level breaks, don't be without a position. If it breaks here, there's a chance we could even go sharply to 36.50 or so, and if we can hold above this consolidation area, the beat is also on the sides of the 100 or 100 in another glass. We must speak the truth about the dominance bid. And Yttrium ETH. Can it be 30 now? He said, don't be lazy, give me 100 or 106. Our market space will be a little different. I just researched this. Thank you very much for being with me until this video. Don't forget to give a full turn on notifications, and have a great day or night.